guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So a little bit ago, I did a video dedicated entirely to all the different types of lip piercings, whether they were singular piercings or a group of piercings. We just kind of went over what each one was. And as I've been doing a little bit more research for my comprehensive guides regarding a variety of piercings, I discovered that there are quite a few nose piercings and some that I didn't even know about. So for this video, it's probably gonna be a little bit shorter than the lip one because there were quite a few lip piercings. But for this video, I thought I would touch on the different types of nose piercings because there are quite a few. Now, obviously, you're gonna have your pretty standard nostril as well as septum piercings, but there are a variety of other ones that you may never have heard of or have heard of but didn't quite know what they were. We're gonna go over those. I will also have pictures over here somewhere, hopefully, that will kind of show you what each nose piercing looks like. I'm sure you already know what the basic ones look like, but we're gonna throw it up there anyway. So let's go ahead and get started with the nostril piercing. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the nostril piercing is, but we're still gonna discuss it. So what exactly is the nostril piercing? What makes up a nostril piercing? This is the piercing that goes in the cartilage on the outside of the nasal passage. So this little curvature area right here, the little passageway that allows you to breathe, that's where the nostril piercing is. It can be done anywhere on the nostril. It can be done closer to the front, closer to the back, right in the center. It can be done a little higher up, could be done right in the curvature. It can be done anywhere. Now, depending on where it's done will kind of determine what type of jewelry you can wear in it, but for the most part, that's what the nostril piercing is. Nostril piercings are also a very common piercing. A lot of people may shy away from facial piercings, but nostrils are just pretty much commonplace now. Next up, we have a variation of the nostril piercing, which is called the high nostril piercing. So unlike the regular nostril piercing, which is on the outside of the nasal passage, the high nostril is placed above it. So it's gonna come along up here. It's gonna be a little bit higher up, not gonna be on the wider part of the nostrils. It's just gonna be up a little ways. Not too far up because then that becomes another piercing. But this one is just gonna be slightly above the curvature of the nose. A lot of people will do like a double nostril piercing where it's like this one and then this one. There are a lot of variations that you can do. I myself am planning to get high nostrils at some point this summer. Really excited about it that I finally determined that's what I wanna do. But like I said, normal nostril piercings are in this area. High nostril piercings are up here a little ways. Next is the septum piercing. By far my favorite facial piercing. So the septum is this little fun thing right here in the center of your nose. It goes through the thin tissue that is found at the tip of your nose. A lot of people refer to it as the sweet spot. The septum is not pierced through cartilage. If it's pierced through cartilage, it's done incorrectly. People's sweet spots kind of vary in size. It's usually a pretty small space. Oftentimes, if you don't know what you're looking for, you can't find it yourself. It is very much near the tip of the nose without actually being like in the tip of your nose. Again, it does not go through cartilage, so this piercing usually doesn't hurt too bad because of that. If you're curious what your sweet spot may feel like, take your pinkies and just kind of feel around up in your nose. Obviously, it's gonna look weird. You're gonna look like you're picking your nose. But if you're really curious about what it may feel like, just take your pinkies because they're going to be the smallest fingers and just try and work your way up there and see if you can feel it. I myself didn't know what the sweet spot was until after I got my septum pierced. And then once my septum was healed, I could take the jewelry out and I knew about where it was pierced so I could actually end up feeling the sweet spot. And now I know what people look for. Next, we have the bridge piercing. This is considered a nose piercing just because it is situated on the bridge of your nose. So right here, kind of where if you wear glasses, it's where the little center part is gonna sit. That's the bridge of your nose. Now the bridge piercing is considered a surface piercing, so it does have a little bit of a higher rejection rate because of that. However, that should not dissuade anyone from ever getting it, but just know that it is technically considered one because it doesn't really have anything to anchor it in place, whereas other piercings have that anchor. If you're curious what surface piercings are, there are piercings that are done on flat parts of the body that give a double pierced look to them. The bridge piercing, it looks like it's two separate piercings on either side of the bridge, when really it's just one. Eyebrows are technically surface piercings. I personally would love to get a bridge piercing. I think it would look really cool, but knowing my dumb self, it would not end well. I also wear glasses. Like, I wear contacts for videos so y'all don't get the glare on my glasses, but I wear glasses a lot. And if anyone has a bridge piercing and wears glasses, comment down below how it works for you. Does it sit fine? Because I'd be curious. All right, now we're getting into some more fun piercings that I personally didn't know about until I started doing research. First up, we have the septral. So this is a piercing that goes through a previously pierced septum piercing. This requires stretching of the septum piercing to a pretty large size. Basically what this piercing is it goes through the tip, like the bottom part of this cartilage right here, into the septum. That's it. It's right here on the tip of the nose, goes up into the septum, and it needs to be stretched. I feel like pictures of the septral don't do it justice because it looks like a very simple piercing, but when you hear about how it is, it's a lot. Next, we have the nasolang. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's how it looks phonetically. This one is a pretty intense one because it goes through both nostrils as well as the septum. So it's like nostril, septum, nostril. A bar just going straight through all three. It's similar to the bridge in that it's one piece of jewelry but gives the illusion of being more. With this piercing, it can look like you just have two separate nostril piercings when really it's like 3 piercings in one. Next we have the rhino piercing. So, you know what a rhino looks like with its nose, you know, this piercing goes vertically through the tip of the nose, usually with like a curved barbell. And this piercing, much like the rhino, the animal, that's why it's called that. It refers to how a rhino's nose looks. Through the tip right here, pierced. That's a lot of cartilage to go through. Anyone got that piercing? It looks very intense. It sounds simple enough, but when you just think about how much is right here, that's a lot. Next, we have the Austin piercing. Now, when you try and type in Austin piercing, you're gonna get a lot of Texas results. However, the Austin piercing is kind of like the rhino. So whereas the rhino is vertically through the tip of the nose, the Austin goes horizontally through the tip of the nose. So you have nasolang, you have bridge, and then you have Austin, which just goes through the tip of the nose horizontally. That also sounds simple, but when you think about how much cartilage is right there, that's not simple. That's a lot. Again, I'm very curious if anyone watching this video has these piercings. Please let us know your experience down below because I am intrigued. And the last piercing I'm going to cover, I wasn't sure if I was going to include it or not because I'm on the fence about whether or not it should be considered with nose piercings, but a lot of places that I was researching about said that it is, and that is the third eye piercing. So, whereas the bridge goes horizontally, the third eye goes vertically right between the eyebrows. So I guess technically your nose does come up. I mean, you contour all the way up to your eyebrows. So the third eye is another surface piercing. So whereas the bridge is horizontal, the third eye is vertical. This one gives the illusion that it's 2 separate piercings when it is just one. Sometimes you may see third eye piercings as just one though, where it's like a little dermal. The third eye piercing can also refer to one bar that looks like 2 separate piercings right between the eyebrows. So that's just a quick little run through of the different types of nose piercings. Let me know in the comments below what types of nose piercings you have, if there are any that you're looking at getting but haven't gotten yet. Also, if any of you have any of those like more intense or lesser known ones, please drop your experience in the comments below. I am very curious, especially the septral. I mean, they pretty much all do. Like the rhino one, that one just, it's so much cartilage right there. That just seems really intense. But let me know in the comments below your experience with any of these nose piercings. Also leave in the comments below if you consider the third eye piercing a nose piercing or just a facial piercing, because it kind of seemed like it was a little split with what I was looking at online, how people felt. I thought I'd include it just because I did see some places consider it a nose piercing. Special thank you to my patrons. You can help support the channel on Patreon while having access to videos early, viewing patron-only content, and more. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button, wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload. And in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys!